markets to see what is going on, but the sell-off continues with Nvidia and Palantir leading the pack. Many investors are just selling off, dropping the markets along with it. And we see that the federal chairperson, Jerome Powell, is along with the federal governors in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. But we all know that the American people are going to get screwed by Jerome Powell, and he's going to do it as they do it in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. And we all know he's going to do it and stick it to the American people right through their hole. So that's Jerome Powell for you, but that's what's going to happen. We all know that just dragging out, but the S&P is dragging, the market is dragging, and we get a lot of investors that are panicking right now, wondering what they should do. Should they keep investing? What is going on? A lot of them don't know what to do. And as we continue to look for answers in the stock market, we are starting to see that many of the investors are losing flight and are losing their fight against this stock market here, thinking should they hold, should they sell? Now, there's two parts of me. As an investor, I'm always looking where the opportunities are at. Now, right now, as an investor, I have two hats on. I have a long-term hat, which is I'm looking to invest for the 1 to 20 years, 1 to 30 years. And then I have the short-term hat, which I'm looking to 1 to 5 year. If I'm looking with the long-term investor hat, I wouldn't be selling off right now. In fact, I'd be loading up, as to me is you're getting these stocks at a discount. I like Palantir where it's at right now. If it drops some more, I will add to my portfolio only because I want to buy in the stock market. I want to buy a Louis Vuitton purse, but I want to pay a TJ Maxx price for it. Many people don't understand that buying low, selling high is this. When everyone is running from the market, you should be running into the market. And as you start seeing that a lot of these sell-offs are creating what are known as buying zones. What does that mean? Institutional buying. What does that mean to you guys? Institutional buying is a lot of the BlackRock, the Blackstones, all these big conglomerate, these hedge funds, pension managers, your Kathy Woods, your Peter Thiels, all these big time investors. Well, when they invest in stocks, they're not buying 100 shares. They're buying millions, 5 million shares, 10 million, 20 million, and in some cases 50 to 100 million shares of any given stock. And what you have to understand is there's a supply and demand zone, that there's only so many shares that a stock trades on an average day. And some of these companies trade anywhere from 3 to 6 million shares in a day. So if they want to buy 20 million, they just can't buy it all in one day. They do that, they drive the price up. And what that does is, as any good company, they want to make a profit. And what that does, it creates this big, huge spike up in the stock market. Now, what you're going to see is as the stock market keeps finding that's basement or that floor level, what you're going to see is you're going to see the demand zones be created, and that's where you should be adding to your portfolio. Why? Is because these institutions want to make a profit too. They want to buy low and sell high. Well, how do they get the stock to go low? Information. What kind of news is being put out? The more negative the news, and especially the more negative news on a specific company, it's more advantageous for a company that wants to buy it. Think of it. If they tell everyone that this is bad, what it creates is a frenzy where people like unconsciously they or subconsciously they just see it as okay, that's bad, but what they're really doing is setting themselves up. Many, like Jamie Dimon did with cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. They said it was trash 2 to 3 years ago. All along was they were buying. Information is key. That's why I limit what I watch on news. Now, do I have to know what's going on? Yes. But I also limit on how much information I'm consuming, and I take everything that everyone gives with a grain of salt. I eat the fish and I spit out the bones. So I look for those opportunities to say to myself, okay, how can I look at what they're saying objectively, but still have a calm frame of mind as an investor when I see the sell off that's happening today? How do I not panic? Now, there's certain things that you could do to prevent that. Now, one of the things is trading with a stop loss. Another thing is either if you're heavy on a stock or a sector, that's where you should learn how to do option trading, where you're trading with a put option, maybe 6 months to a year put option, where you can trade that long as an insurance against any downturns or protection off of something you couldn't control, whether a pandemic, attack, anything like that, like a 9/11, like stuff that we've seen before. You can't, how do you foresee that stuff? And a lot of it is that's why you have insurance. And the way you do insurance in the stock market is by trading options, things like call options and put options. Those were created as instruments, as protection, or as what we know as a church as a hedge. So one of the things is I want to open up, uh, I'm the finance pastor, so I want to read some scripture. I want to look up, today is, I want to read a proverb. So Proverbs 15:1. A soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. The tongue of the wise uses knowledge rightly, but the mouth of fools pours forth foolishness. The eyes of the Lord are in every place, keeping watch on the evil and good. A wholesome tongue is a tree of life, but perversiveness in it breaks the spirit. A fool despises his father's instruction, but he who receives correction is prudent. In the house of the righteous there's much treasure, but in the revenue of the wicked is trouble. And God's word always brings us hope. And one of the things is that I love is that the Bible teaches us as Christians how to invest in a world that doesn't really like maybe truthfulness, or maybe not, in a world where we're in the marketplace. But one of the things that stands out is, as a Christian in the marketplace, you can stand out by how you act, how you trade, how you just sometimes the only Bible people read is you. So how you act is what people understand. And as a business leader, it's always good to be upright, to always, the word that I'm looking for is integrity. It's having integrity in everything. So as a trader, one of the things you look at is, what are you trading in? Do you have rules? How are you trading? Are you going by your spirit, or are you going by actual rules? So I love trading by the form of just the risk reward ratio, which is this is, here I have a dollar. So this is George Washington. So George Washington, 250 years ago, he used to fight for our freedom, and he did. But George Washington has been dead for way over 250 years, but he's still alive. How? In our $1 bill. Now, today, George Washington, he's still fighting for our freedom. It's just our financial freedom. So I always want to trade, which is this concept is, I never want to risk more than $1, but I want to make three. So I always have this riddle that I remember. I only want to set George Washington free if he comes back with two or three. I just want him to know where I can send him so he could come back with two or three. So I look at stock, I look at what's my risk reward ratio. Those are my swing trading stocks. I love trading that way. Those are my short term type of stocks I love trading. On my long term, what I try to accumulate, it's a lot of shares, which is like I'm doing covered calls. Plus, what you trade is with a put insurance, which The technical name is called a collar, and you trade with having insurance. So I love trading that way. It's a way to mitigate risk, like what's happening now, where the stock market has really lost about like a good $1 trillion in just tech stocks. I mean, which is insane. And I'm in a lot of those plays. I'm in an Nvidia, and I'm still ahead. I'm still ahead in Palantir. I just my dollar cost average was so low. So a lot of those things is you kind of learn is this will happen as a long-term investor. But also, if you're trading short term, then you need to. There's a famous song that by Kenny Rogers is know when to hold them. You got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away. So that's when you have to know how to trade that. So sometimes I've had to get out of a trade where I took a small cost. That happens to every single trader because it is virtually impossible to win every single trade. I've never met a trader who won every single trade. And if I did, I'd probably be scared if that was the case. So, but anywho, I want to say that I hope that you guys are having a good trading day. But I also want to share with you, I want to look at a few stocks and see what it's doing here. So I want to share my screen with you guys. So we looking at the S&P 500 now. So the S&P 500 just briefly touched this like almost line right here, which is that it went down the 350, 348, the 348 range. That is a key space for me. It just bounced off. Could that be a stair step? I don't know, but what I do know is that the S&P is trying to bounce off the lows. A lot of the market is trying to bounce off the lows now. Will it succeed? Somewhat, but look at this pattern. Look at this move right here. Uh, I could see the Nasdaq falling even more if it continues. But then right here, right where it bounced off, I mean, one can argue it's already hit this place right here in this range. We're looking at what price here at the 22 or 23.16 range right there, uh, something like that. So your Dow Jones, the Dow Jones actually even though there's been a market sell-off, it's been pinging this place right here. Could this be a triple top? Now, this is the thing. The Dow Jones could be a key indicator in this. Could this be a triple? I mean, this is more than a triple top. It's just hitting, bouncing off, trying to hit it, bounce off, hit it, beat it a little bit. Now right under it. So right now it's at a doji. Now this is also a pivotal part right here. If it finishes off with a doji in this place, could it potentially set up for an upswing? That's yet to be seen, but could it? Maybe. But also, one must respect that if it doesn't, this is a long way to fall down. Oh, this is a long way to fall down back to like the 41,000 here. So you're looking at a big move down. But the 42,000 range in that vicinity, that's a big move down. So you have to respect both these moves right here because this is the range that we're following right now. Right now is we're lucky that it's filled this gap right here. It's already filled it several times. So here, so my thing is if it keeps falling, there's a gap, small little gap here. Could it fall? It could. And that's where we have to respect those ranges there. We're looking at the VIX, of course, is up. Apple, again, just everything falling. NASDAQ, Netflix, again, still a good play for me, but also falling. Everyone's having if you're just tied to your mood is tied to the stock market, you're in a bad mood today. You're in a bad mood today. But not terrible. Like again, a lot of these moves is running on what Jerome Powell is going to do. I just really think he's not going to do anything for the American people. He's in Jackson Hole, Wyoming right now, and really what he's doing is he's sticking it to the American people right through their hole. So that's what Jerome Powell is doing, and everybody knows it. He's not thinking about his American people. He's only thinking about his own little reputation, what's left of it. Let's see, Diamonds again getting beat. Jets, the ETF, just getting beat up a little bit, not terribly bad. Royal Caribbean, another one, is kind of having a decent, is not bad comparatively, but yeah, it's still struggling. Amazon, everything down. AMD down. This is another Meta down, which is for me is for Meta. It is filling this gap right here. Check this out. Meta, I'm gonna look for Meta to continue going down. If it goes down and continues this gap, this is I love Meta. I'm bullish on Meta. I am looking for this play, and I've been waiting for it to come down more. But if it fills this gap, this is game on. Because if it stops right here at this what are we looking at? Six 687 range. If you were looking at that, you got to respect that I might be looking to get into this play to the upside if it goes down all the way here. Now, if it continues to fall, then look at all this room that it has to fall. So Meta's in a no man's land, but I actually like it. But I still think I'm bullish on Meta long term. Russell, of course, coming down. Mid caps trying to go up. The Russell has had a couple of good days. Ford just trying to reach up here. Trying to reach this 1180 range. I might be looking into placing a covered call on my Ford stock. I've already mine's what I did my August already successfully. So I made like 1.3% on that. So I'm looking to add a covered call. Nvidia getting beat up, beat up, beat up. Yesterday, everybody who got in here thinking this was gonna stay, really, if you added positions here, you're like suffering right now, because it just kept going down. BMNR on this one, I up slightly, but really has taken a beating the last few days. Tesla, you were just breaking out this wedge pattern. I don't know, but I'm still thinking it's still in this pattern. So I'm still thinking I'm still following this pattern right here. So Tesla, it's either gonna go break up to the upside or downside. Here, Palantir, are you getting assaulted right here? Palantir. Please, please, please. Watchy, watchy, watchy. This one's getting beat up, but hopefully you catch some steam. If Palantir continues to fall, especially in this 130 range, I'm going to go add more to my positions here. I like this. Again, my dollar cost average is lower, so I'm at a 122. So if you want to know, you all nosy, y'all want to know. So I'm at 122, but I'm looking to add here. E-minis down, of course. Yeah, Nasdaq E-minis down. That's down. But a lot of this is just you looking at a lot of the headline news that's driving the markets. Just Alarian right here, power walking on a tightrope in Jackson Hole. We all know that. Let's see. Bernie, you nuts. Again, just open AI. This one is very interesting. Logged its first 1 billion month. I mean, that is huge money. That is some huge dollars right there. That is amazing. Palantir plummets 20%. Of course, this stock has just, I mean, it has taken off from when they were announcing it on the S&P from last year from 30. It was a $37 stock. I wish I would have gotten in there. But then it just doubled, and it just nuts. So I'm not surprised that this is taking a breather, but not bad for any investors who maybe have felt that they were late to the party. This is another place for you to get in for Palantir. So I'm bullish on Palantir, whether people like it or not. I invest in war. And many people like, well, why do you say that? Well, the Bible tells me that. I know not everyone who listens to me is religious, but you have to hear me out. Is the Bible does say that there will be wars and rumors of war, then the end shall come. So let's go here. Let's go. Trump torches Fed trade over housing industry, and I believe it, man. The housing industry needs a cut. Every investor that I talk to, that I invest in real estate also. So I invest in the stock, but I invest in real estate. But a lot of investors that I know that were just crushing it from 2014 to 22 really has slowed down. I know a couple of people that have actually gone bankrupt, have had to go bankrupt, and projects that are undone, investors that are losing money. This is a very serious matter. So I'm really hoping that they do cut rates, because it also helps the new home builders. It helps the banking system make more loans, and you have a lot of the mortgage industry that's relying on people buying homes, and people are waiting. They're being more patient, and they're being more selective of the rates that they want, and I don't blame them. So we're going to be looking for more opportunities in the stock market. The market is will it recover? I'm pretty sure it will. I'm pretty sure the market will recover, but also you have to look at that. This is part of the market cycle. The stock market doesn't go straight up. It takes breathers, it goes down, it goes up. That's why you play the game with a profit loss statement, with a risk reward ratio. If you're playing the game that way, you'll do well. Now, if you're playing the long version, which is the 20-year, 17-year, there is a statistic that says that if you buy and hold over the long term, over the 17-year period, you're like 82 or 85% that uh, you would do very well in your portfolio. So I like that statistic. So that's why I play the long-term game. I also like investing in precious metals, good silver coins right there. So I like this stuff. So I love, this has always been God's money, which is silver and gold. I always believe in that. So along with the investing in real estate, stock market, I love precious metal because it's always been God's money. And I like the crypto because it's the new phase. So hopefully we get to rocking and rolling. If you have any questions, leave some comments below. If you like it, share and subscribe. Until next time.